when did you first dream of starting a business?
So we had been trying for a little while to come up with an answer for our family. We knew we needed another answer financially, and then also that worked with, we homeschool, and I'm home with our kids, which is really important to us. It was about 3 years ago that my husband Anthony said we should open up a coffee shop in the outlets, and it was like, oh my gosh, yes we should. And that's when it kind of started. We had gone back and forth about owning our own business, but nothing ever felt quite right. And the idea to do a coffee shop, it filled a need here in the outlets, so that was part of it. And then coffee is such a big part of our lives, and we love it, and we love the opportunity it brings for connection and community. So it kind of covered all of those things for us. So I had a photography business for a little while that was called A Little Lovely Photography, and it kind of like morphed into just more for like personal use, the name like My Little Lovely Life. And so we were like, had to submit our name. It was like the last day due, and I was like, we need to decide. And he was like, what about A Little Lovely Coffee Shop? And it was, again, just perfect as soon as he said it, because what it meant to us and kind of what it also would share with others and what we hope to create here in this space. There were a lot of challenges. We had to kind of figure out how to finance it. That was probably the biggest thing, how to finance it. So we sold our house because we had some equity in it to use that to get started, but selling the house was its own process that took months upon months, and so that was like the first step. And then we sold the house. We had that part of it done, and then we've never opened up a business before, much less a coffee shop. So there were so many things that we just didn't know and had to learn and figure out and do the best of our ability to guess in some of it. And so all those like little pieces and lining up the financial part of it was probably the most challenging. We always had these like backup plans, sort of like, okay, if A doesn't work, then there's B, C, D, and E. And there were moments where we were on like whatever letter it was, and I didn't know what the backup plan was gonna be, and that was like how are we gonna make this happen? But it never felt like it wasn't gonna happen. It was just not knowing what the steps were to make it happen in that moment. So that definitely happened more than one time, but that like underlying, like, this is what we're meant to do, this is what, like, this feels so right, never changed. There were a lot of moments where we just kind of had to like, I mean, when I was pregnant and ended up the timing of that, like the shop was going to open right around when the baby was born, and we were like, how is this going to work? And we didn't know, but it was just kind of like, keep going, like it'll work itself out, like just jump and have faith that it'll work out. So some of the challenges kind of, we didn't have the answer, but we just kept moving forward. I have so many, it's still very busy and very crazy and very chaotic. I feel like we've been running a marathon for like 3 years now, not quite, but it feels like that sometimes. It's just been nonstop, and so that's been really, that's been
something to be proud of.
Thank you, yes. Most days we wake up and we pretty much get in the car and come here, and we play in between customers, we homeschool in between customers, and we I try to kind of do some of the back end of the business stuff in between, and then we get to see Anthony on his break, and then we usually go home around like 6 or 7 when Anthony comes and he'll close the store. There are challenges, of course, because I'm wanting to make sure that I can give our business the attention it needs and we want to give it, but then also our children the attention that they need and that I want to give them. And so there are many days where the mom guilt can kind of feel suffocating, and I'm wondering if I'm doing enough for them. But for the most part, it is, I just couldn't imagine it any other way, and I feel so grateful and so blessed to have the opportunity to have them here with me. We are so genuinely happy when someone walks through our door, and the opportunity to not only make them a cup of coffee, but to talk to them for a few minutes and hopefully brighten their day a little bit. I feel that kind of all like connects into just that like family community value. I wish I could tell myself that it would be okay, and that we would figure out all of those things that came up, and that the timing would all work out the way it was supposed to. I wish I spent more time learning as much as I could before, because now being in the day-to-day of it, it's hard to spend as much time on the behind-the-scenes stuff as I would like to. So I wish I had taken, when I had more time, I didn't realize I had more time then, but I had that time to do more of that stuff. Don't give up. Even when people tell you you're crazy, and because a lot of people told us we were crazy. I think the other piece would be believing in yourself and willing to take the risk on, like, because when you own your own business, you're not answering anyone else but yourself, and you have to believe that you can do it, and not necessarily like on your own, because we've been supported in like the most amazing ways since we opened this coffee shop up. But at the end of the day, it comes down to Anthony and I, and so I don't think I've ever had to rest on belief in myself as much as I have now.